Hello everyone and welcome to the Sporty Show. I'm Alex Ashmore. Alongside me as
and
always...
I am Klinton Cord. I am Klinton Cord.
Cut me off already, man. the game's gone, as they say. The game's gone, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and get through this without Klinton interrupting me. We've got some games on the Sporty, on SportyTV.
Are you sure we have a game on the SportyTV though? Like what? Like you know, tell me what games do you have? What games do you have?
I was getting there. I was getting there.
Okay. Go on, get there, bruv.
Well, we hope you've all had a lovely weekend with lots of action going on across the European leagues in La Liga and Premier League. We'll get all into that later. Some breaking news as well from today from Manchester. But before we do get into that, we'll read you through some of the games on SportyTV this week. We have tonight La Liga Hypermotion Racing Ferrol against Tenerife. Tuesday, we have Boniface's Leverkusen going up against Elversberg in the DFB Pokal. Tuesday, we're doing a live social media watch-along for a game on SportyTV. It is Brentford versus Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday at 9 o'clock WAT. On Wednesday, we have Spurs versus Manchester City. There is a Sporty Live for that and a social media watch-along between myself and Klinton Cord. That's at 9:15 WAT. We also have Roma versus Torino on Thursday, and then Friday Al Nassr against Al Hilal. Moving into the weekend, we've got lots of action. We've got Liverpool versus Brighton, 3 o'clock WAT. We've got Borussia Dortmund versus RB Leipzig, and we've got Luton Town against West Brom in the Championship on Friday. Sunday, we've got Napoli against Atalanta, Sevilla against Real Sociedad at 5:30 WAT, and then some Greek Super League action on Sunday as well, moving in through to finish the weekend. So, lots of action on SportyTV. We've got the Sporty Show here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've got lots of stuff to cover today. Klinton, it's good to have you.
As usual. Come on, everybody's happy to have me. What do you mean? Why do you have to remind me it's good to have me, though?
Well, yeah, I'm just reminding you. You know, it's
because I have dementia, right?
Yeah, okay, that's the one. That's the one.
We don't. Okay.
It's not just Klinton with us today. We also have a certain Gary joining us all the way from Accra in Ghana. Gary, how are you doing?
Ghana, where is the ring?
Doing well, thank you.
Did I just call Gary Ghana? Oh, okay.
I think
that's
you
a
did.
new name. Ghana.
It's the dementia setting in.
I mean, even wearing the map of Africa on his shirt, I'm only seeing the Ghana there. Now, Gary, Wagwan, how are you, man? What's going on?
There you go.
Where's Ghana, please?
Somewhere here.
Okay.
Nigeria is here.
Wow, so Ghana is not even in your heart. Oh my God, I knew this guy was.
So Ghana is this way. Ghana is here, and Nigeria is here.
Does that put Somalia where his heart is, or is that no? It's a bit too low for that. I'm trying to work out.
Here
from your T-shirt.
Wow,
no, my heart is around the sea.
I'm trying to work out where his heart is and where.
My heart is at sea. Is at sea, literally. As an Arsenal fan,
and you are still alive.
My heart is currently underwater.
Well, I hope your heart's not too drowned after Arsenal's draw against Liverpool last weekend. Well, yesterday. It feels like a long time ago already.
Underwater, but I'm doing fine.
I want to talk about Ten Hag. I want to talk about.
We'll get on to that.
Vinicius.
We'll get to that. We'll get on
to the Ten Hag.
Listen, I don't want us to get to the point where you people tell me we don't have time.
We will have time. Okay, but there's a lot to talk about today. There's Ballon d'Or. There's Erik Ten Hag. He's been sacked. Ruud van Nistelrooy is now the interim manager at Manchester United. And if we have time, Klinton, we'll go into Arsenal versus Liverpool. The 2-2 draw, meaning that Liverpool lose their top spot to Manchester City. Let's get into the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Tonight, Real Madrid announced today that they're not sending any representatives. No players are going, so that means no Bellingham, no Vinicius, no Dani Carvajal. Does that mean Rodri's going to win it?
All right, guys, for those of you looking at me via that camera, I just want to let you know that this conversation is not just between myself, Alex, and Gary. I want to get your inputs on our comment section. I want you to let me know what you think about that one, just so when I'm spitting my facts, I'll be confirming with a few of you. The one person I want to listen to at this point is a man called Makinde. Makinde, this is when you need to use all your words from university when they say don't go more than 2,500 words. This is the day you are allowed to go past it.
Yeah, you've got that 10% margin, Mark, in there.
yeah.
You can go 10% over.
Back in day, I'm giving you 50% over. It's
wow.
not even 10% today. Now it's time.
3,000 words.
Yeah. Now, well, first of all, I am not very surprised. You see, the one truth I always love about football is this kind of things happen, this kind of drama. Now, Vinicius, I feel like I want to ask somebody this question just before I say it, right? Do you actually think Vinicius does deserve the Ballon d'Or this year?
Gary, do you think Vinicius deserves the Ballon d'Or this year?
Gary, please ask somebody else in your room.
No.
Ask somebody else.
Is your son around?
Do you think Vinicius deserves a Ballon d'Or this year? Do you?
Ballon d'Or challenge. Tell the person to ask the next person.
It's the whispers game where you try and pass on and then slowly it gets more and more lost.
Let's keep it going.
Nah, but for real though, Gary, what do you think about this situation so far?
No, I mean, even when Vinicius had that stellar performance a couple games ago, we spoke about it in the Champions League, right? It was only last week, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We spoke
Feels like
about
a long
it.
time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for the fact that Arsenal versus Liverpool has suddenly gone to the back of the show, and in 24 hours, it shows you just how much the news cycle can be quick.
Absolutely.
Like in the space of 1 week, Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund has become, something that happened last year. But we asked that question last week, and I gave the similar answer that, Rodri, just because of the quantum of work that he did and what he won for it, would see it as an injustice, and I would see it as an injustice if Vinicius were given as well, given that they all played probably they had the same kind of influence in their respective club teams. Then you go to their national sides and things change a bit. But even then, Rodri played more games than Vinicius, all right? For his position, the 12 goals is quite something, Rodri. So Vinicius always has the more goals. But in terms of the sheer influence in both their teams, they are comparable. Then you've got to see what they did for their national teams as well. I think that is a straightforward Rodri answer. Remember, voting ended on the 31st of July. And remember what the criteria were, right? If you take the second criterion and the third one, the second and the third one, there, Vinicius is beaten by Rodri. That's being class and being of good character and behavior and whatnot. So he beat him there. But aside that, I think I've said about 3 or 4 times or 5 or 6 or 7 times on the show that Rodri had a better influence and won more than Vinicius. So Vinicius, I'm hoping he can do that another year, and maybe next year will be his year as well. Yeah.
You know the funny thing, you know one thing I would have loved to see? I would have loved to see a whole page or some kind of pamphlet that tells you the criteria to win the Ballon d'Or. Because the truth is, everybody seems to be talking about, Rodri. Everybody seems to be talking about, Vinicius. As a matter of fact, everybody thought Vinicius, there is no way he was not going to win it this time, especially after having a hat-trick versus Borussia Dortmund coming from 2-0. Everybody, but then they fail to understand that no matter what he does right now, right? Gary just said it, that voting ended in July, and no matter what you do right now, it's not really having any effect on the results of the Ballon d'Or. And everyone seems to be very upset that, what is going on? Why shouldn't but why are we not speaking about? So Gary, talk to me actually, because this is the one question I was going to ask. So if you're a defender, there is no place for you in the Ballon d'Or. Is this what they... Because I know in history, there is a defender who's had the Ballon d'Or. The name is not coming to my head right now, but I know he has.
Cannavaro.
Now, Gary, sorry?
Fabio Cannavaro.
Yeah, that's the one. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So why do we not think that Dani Carvajal deserves the Ballon d'Or, though?
I don't think it's we. And if you looked at, the Spanish papers, Diario today, Alex, I don't know if you saw it, and Klinton, I don't know if you saw it as well. Diario say that according to what their sources are telling them, Real Madrid are saying that the same criteria that is given Rodri the Ballon d'Or should be the same that gives Carvajal the accolade. And if Carvajal is not winning, then they believe that the institution of the Ballon d'Or and everybody who contributed to this year's awards does not respect Real Madrid CF. And if they don't respect Real Madrid CF are not going to be at the ceremony.
Oh, man.
So that is what we are being told that Real Madrid CF are saying. So yeah, I think it's a simple matter. We've spoken about this again many times about, Carvajal doing as much as Rodri in his club and for the national team as well. So why then? And at the end of the day, Klinton, it will boil down to individual preferences. Now, here's what my suspicions are after speaking to a couple of journalists in some other countries who voted that, this whole thing is a game. It's a game of chess. Do you notice and do you recall, Klinton and Alex, that getting to the end of last season, particularly in that run where City usurped Arsenal to the trophy, it was always Rodri who was doing the biggest press conferences, the biggest flash interviews when they beat Arsenal, and he made those comments. When they won the title, it was he who was given the microphone to speak. It was he who made the speech about Arsenal not having enough mentality. He was projected just like Real Madrid have done for almost decades and decades. We have said, football fans have said, that if you have a 50% chance of winning Ballon d'Or with somebody else, and you find yourself playing for Real Madrid CF, the PR machinery of Real Madrid CF is going to push you there. We have all said it, right? We said it for Ronaldo. We said it for Rodri. We said it for Modric, and we said it for countless other players from Real Madrid who won against opposition that was equally good or slightly better than Real Madrid players. It seems that this year, Manchester City FC have beaten Real Madrid CF at their own game. So, yeah. So, that's it. That's what I'm thinking.
It's a tough choice to make, and I'm glad I'm not making the decision. I'm not sure I could pick, and I think I would let my bias come into it. I'm not going to say who I would pick if I could pick, but Klinton, on this day, if they said, we've made an exception, Klinton Cod, you can pick the Ballon d'Or winner, you're going to be one of the representatives for Nigeria, for example, you're going to cast your vote today, putting your ballot paper in, August to July last season, who are you picking? Ballon d'Or winner this year?
I mean, it's very easy. This year, I'm going to pick Ademola Lookman. Why not? I mean, it's very easy. What did you expect me to say?
Let me just check. Is Ademola Lookman on the list?
He has to be on the list.
He's not on the list.
Ademola Lookman is not on the list?
No,
wait.
He is.
No. Listen, I was going to
I'm winding you up.
Come on,
He is.
No, I nearly broke this computer already.
So we've got Jude Bellingham, Danny Carvajal, Ruben Diaz, Phil Foden.
Look at the second row.
Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, Toni Kroos, Lautaro Martinez, Kylian Mbappe, Ademola Lookman, Martin Odegaard, Dani Olmo, Cole Palmer, Rodri, Saka, Valverde, Vinicius, Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal. So you're picking Ademola Lookman?
No, listen, and the only reason I'm picking him is not because of trophies or whatever. It's only because he's my boy. He comes from where I come from. Like, I'm being blunt. I'm not lying to you. Like, wait, did you think I was going to vote anybody? Like, I'm going with my boy. If he doesn't win, he doesn't win. But the truth is, you just said, if I had the power today to choose.
I'm now revoking that power.
Oh. Nah, but listen. I mean, let's be serious here, right? I would have thought that winning the Ballon d'Or is based on how many trophies you've had, over a specific period of time, and
it's both individual performances and the performances with your team, both domestically and internationally.
Yeah. So that is where I come in with Danny Carvajal, who I feel like fits perfectly with what you have just mentioned. We want to start speaking about what he's had. He's had a Champions League. He's had the Euros.
La Liga.
Right? He's had a La Liga, right? All within a year. Of everybody on that list, there is nobody, there's literally nobody that has that kind of qualification. If there's anybody who's even close to that kind of qualification, it's Lautaro Martinez.
Serie A.
Serie A. But then
America.
again, the truth is people tend not to respect Serie A. Why? Because they feel like after what's it called, French League One, the next one is Serie A, and that's why they're not taking it too serious. So if, say, Lautaro Martinez was playing in England or he was playing in the La Liga, maybe they would have been saying something more serious around him. But right now, if there's anybody who's had more than even these names we've just mentioned, including Rodri, it's Dani Carvajal. But then again, he's not being taken seriously because he's a defender, right?
If you're looking at that criteria as well, I would argue, and I'm going to get criticised for my bias here, Jude Bellingham, unbelievable season from August to July last year.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Won the La Liga, won the Champions League, got to the final of the Euros with England.
Okay, but he didn't win it.
He didn't win it,
Yeah.
but neither did Vinny. But Vinny is in that conversation. He didn't win the Copa America, but he's
Yeah.
still in that conversation. I'm saying that perhaps, we should be considering a player like Jude Bellingham up there for his performances last season. Won the La Liga, won the Champions League, got to the final of the Euros with England.
But you see, this is where for me, I see you like that British students who they've given you an assignment in school, and then they said write 4,000 words. Now you have written 3,000, and you start looking for those little sweet words.
Are you saying I'm waffling?
No, wait, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just telling you that, bro, you're trying to add more words because you've just said it. No, hang on. I've told you now. Give me the criteria or why you think Jude Bellingham should be winning. Remember what you just said. You said he's had the Champions League, right? He's had what again? Sorry?
La Liga.
He's had La Liga, exactly.
La Liga.
And then you said he went to the final. But you didn't tell us what happened when he went there. No, because Gary, these are the important questions we need to ask. I'm not taking away from you. You went to the final. So when you went there, what happened? Did you come back? Or did you stay? Like, what was
It's true.
No.
No.
So now, if you went there, but you didn't see an Uber ride to come back, right? So let's forget about the fact that you didn't go at all. Okay? Let's look at the people that went and came back with something.
Well, no, it's true. I mean, looking at that, Kwasi Opong makes a good comment here. Remember that Haaland surpassed Bellingham with achievements like that in the first season. If you look at Haaland, Messi won it last time. Haaland's performances last season, won the Premier League, won the Champions League, scored an unbelievable amount of goals, but got overlooked. Messi won the World Cup, so he got the Ballon d'Or.
Nah, but listen. When you want to speak about Messi, right? You need to, first of all, you need to look at the camera properly because I feel like because this is Lionel Messi. Okay, this is a god in football, right? I don't think if there's anybody who wants to they want to compare why. I'm telling you right now that Messi deserves the African Player of the Year. Like, do you not understand that statement, bro? I'm telling you that when Messi
I
comes
don't know.
Okay, no. I would expect.
I'm looking at the Argentinian passport and I'm confused.
No, but listen. Let's take away Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo at the conversation. Let's just look at these players, right, who are competing now. You have just mentioned Jude Bellingham, and I think that you've laid emphasis on most of the things he's done in the he was a very fantastic player for Real Madrid last season. As a matter of fact, he was almost scoring as many goals as Jude Bellingham. He was every single week. He was just about Jude Bellingham. When I go to the Real Madrid stadium, at some point, everyone, even do you understand how much I was very jealous of that young man? Like at some point, I was feeling like if I get Jude Bellingham, I'm going to put a scar on his face because these women are beginning to love him over a lot of us in Madrid, right? And the fact that he was performing real well, it was even pissing me off even more. In Nigeria, they call those kind of people bad belle people. Yes, I was having bad belle over Jude Bellingham, right? Now, don't get me wrong. He did he did everything he was supposed to do. But truth is, Messi was there, so there's no way he would have been able to compete because you are talking about a god. I feel like speaking like Kanye West. You're speaking about a god. He's a god. Listen, Dani Carvajal. I don't know why he's not being spoken about. Don't get me wrong. Rodri, I would love to see Rodri win because I know how much Rodri was last season. Rodri was literally one of the pinnacles of football. As a midfielder, there was nobody who came close to Rodri, right? If he gets the Ballon d'Or right now, I'm not going to complain. Why? Because I feel like, okay, he's won two really important. He won the Champions League. He won the Premier League, right? And then what else did he?
You're talking about this season? Sorry.
No, sorry. Last season, he won the Premier League, and then they won. He won
the Champions League,
and then the Euros.
Well, you're confusing the seasons.
Hang on.
Rodri won the Premier League and the Euros.
And the Euros, that's it, but
Yeah.
he didn't win the Champions League. But it was Real Madrid that won the Champions League. So for me, I feel like, no, it has to be, if they're not giving it to Vinicius, it has to be, Carvajal because of his achievement. Because if we want to even talk about individual performance, you're not going to tell me that Carvajal, listen, individually, yeah, he's a defender. You wouldn't expect him to score as many goals as Jude Bellingham, who's a midfielder, or as Vinicius, who's a winger. For a defender to put in his life in football, play to the point where his name is tied to that, that several trophies within one season. I've seen no reason why he should not be winning it, though. Now, do you think, Alex, and I'll put this to Gary as well, do you think there might have been any kind of racial cards being played, on this Vinicius situation currently?
No, I don't think so.
No, because I saw quite a few stuffs on social media. People say, yeah, no, listen, personally, I wouldn't say from that angle.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
You know why? The list is sent to, all sorts of people around the world. All right? There are 54 of those voters come from Black Africa. So, you get my point. So, are those 54 votes from Black Africa going to be accused of being racially biased against Vinicius Jr.? No, I don't think so. Look, I think, let me also say this. The best player in the world right now is Lionel Messi. The best player of the year will either be Vinicius or Rodri. Please, let me repeat myself. The best player in the world right now and the best player in the world next year will be Leo Messi.
But what do you mean? Stop that. What do you mean?
He'll be the best player in the world.
But why did you say
Let me just explain. No, I said next year until he retires.
Oh, God bless you. No. It's not only until he retires. Even when he retires, he's still the best player.
No. But the best player of any calendar year, because then, we will give criteria for why we are choosing this player or this player or this player. We would have players like Vinicius, Rodri, Carvajal, all these guys who have done so and so and so and won so and so and so in that calendar year. So I think it's pretty straightforward. It comes down to preferences. And I think that players have to understand. And I would wish that in his very quiet moments, Klinton, Vinicius would be made to understand that, PR, we may laugh at PR, we may scoff at PR, but PR does these things for players every year, and it does wonders for them. So if he wants to carry favor among all these voters from all these diverse backgrounds, look, there have been ridiculous claims made. And I'll go back to 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Years when Cristiano Ronaldo was so clearly not a top 2 player. But you would see certain countries, certain coaches vote for him. And when they were asked by the media in their countries, they would reference something that Cristiano did, some behavior he exhibited, some behavior Messi exhibited a year ago, 2 years ago. And they would say that is why I'm voting for Cristiano and Messi. So you see, players like Vinicius have to understand that all these whinings and on-field behaviors, and nobody, at least high profile, has suffered what Vinicius has just suffered than Cristiano. Because we do know that there were years where he probably deserved to win and Messi won. And there were years when the opposite also happened, where, Messi probably deserved to win, or Wesley Sneijder in 2010 and all that. But the sheer character and size of the reputations of Cristiano and Messi ensure that those two won for 15 years in a row. And you see, people like Vinicius need to understand that, you know what the painful thing will be? If Vinicius doesn't take care and Mbappe starts getting a good season, even from this weekend until next July, and they are the same team, and Mbappe starts become the leader we know him to be. Mbappe starts becoming the leader, outspoken guy, the big presence that we know him to be. Same for Jude Bellingham. Vinicius is going to have the shock of his life because those two are going to get more votes than he would get simply because of the behavior thing.
You talk
People
about
around Vinicius should tell him.
you talk about leaders.
Yes,
Gary,
go ahead.
And Box TV makes a very good comment here.
Yeah.
We're talking about these players, but I think when you look at Dani Carvajal and what he's done, he says he won the Champions League, he's won the Euros, he won La Liga. Why is he not being talked about? Is it simply because he's a defender?
I mean, I feel like you're
That's what
literally.
I said.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying.
That's what I
I think, going off from what we've all said,
Yeah.
I think from what he's won and from what he's done on the pitch as a leader, as a player, arguably the best fullback in the world.
Absolutely.
The best right back in the world.
Yeah.
Could even say the best defender in the world. There are others up there with him.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at, on the pitch, his performance has been fantastic. He's won every trophy there is to win. He's contributed. He's scored goals. He's got assists. When you look at what he's done on the pitch, I don't think there's anyone else that's done any better than him this season.
Personally, I wouldn't think that too. I don't think there's anyone who's as. That's why I said, realistically, if there's anybody who should be winning it at this point, it should be Carvajal. Now, Gary has just, said so many things regarding behavior and how people perceive you, and instances where, they've come across you. The reaction that people have of you does, play a role in terms of if you would end up being the winner or not. And it's even now becoming clearer, because I remember at some point Cristiano Ronaldo did make a statement. He said that this guy has a tendency, I don't know if you guys remember, it was Cristiano, he said this guy has a tendency of being one of the best players in the world if he calms down. And when he was making that statement, it was based on, what he was doing on the pitch, when he was always causing issue, he was always wanting to, and I can't lie to you, even as a Nigerian, those things, they annoy me a few times. And I've seen Vinicius, we've gone to watch a few of the matches, and I'm just like, this guy needs to just shut up and just play football. Like, you could see Vinicius going to argue with somebody for 10 good minutes when he would play for another 7. Like, just relax. I think if that behavior definitely does play a role, I think it's maybe one of the reasons why they've...
I think Ronaldo said it on his podcast, wasn't it? He said it on a podcast.
Yes, absolutely, yes. And knowing Ronaldo's level of influence when it comes to football, right? You think people don't listen to these kind of things. Let me tell you something. There are people who would hear Ronaldo say, go jump off a cliff, and they will do it, right? Now, do you know how many people who are voting there who would just that mere statement from him would he probably just glue somewhere and be like, actually, truly, this man needs to calm down. Don't get me wrong, though. His reaction to some of the things that he does on the pitch somehow can be justified, especially as a black man who lives in a country where, this is not your territory, and, people tend to perceive you because of your color for some things. I understand that. But it doesn't mean that he's the first person who probably has gone through that. There are maybe better ways on how he can handle it. But when you see Vinicius, he's that guy who wants to react at every single thing. He wants to fight his opponents. He wants to woo them to say, I'm better than you, or watch me, I'm going to go past you. I believe that even this last ElClásico, with Koundé, you saw what he tried to do. Now, Vinicius, you saw when he tried to do the rainbow flick, and it didn't work. Now, I think Vinicius would be that kind of person that if he had gone through and Real Madrid had won that game, he would come back to your face and maybe do something that would make you feel bad, that I am better than you. Like, this is Vinicius' kind of person. And I think that this is maybe why he might not be, or these are parts of the reasons why he might not be getting this. However, the next question I was going to actually bring up for Gary, again, is just regarding what's it called? Is somewhere around this Ballon d'Or for some reason, because I was trying to lay my point. Now he's just flown away.
I would stick on this topic because we could be here for hours. But there was something else that
it was. But Gary, actually, sorry. Just before we come back to that stuff weekend, if it's even possible for me to not speak about Gary's Arsenal, I don't care at this point. But Gary, so they were saying that somehow.
It's probably best to talk about Arsenal. Probably best to talk about Arsenal today. Yeah.
we don't have to.
We don't have to. Now, they said Real Madrid.
Ten Hag is more important. Ten Hag and Clásico are more important. Yeah.
Look at this fireman, fraudster. Now, Yeah, so they said they are not going for the ceremony today. They put out a statement. They say Real Madrid, they are not sending anybody. No, Vinicius is not going. When they found out he was not going to win it. Now, do you think that is the best behavior at this point in time, Gary?
It's just a solidarity thing. They are not the only ones who have done it. We've seen. I mean, it's become a thing in the last decade or more. I mean, in the last decade is when, I remember that clubs have staged what you like to call massive or mass boycotts of these events when they are told in the end that somebody from their club is not winning it and so on. So it's not new. Whether it's the right thing to do, whether it shows sportsmanship, because, I mean, touch wood if next year a Real Madrid player does so well and it's on the podium and it's obvious that the person is going to win and they are told on the morning of whatever it is that the player is going to win, Real Madrid will show up with the entire contingent. Don Perez, will be there. And so, I mean, they are, let's just say, they are all hypocrites. I mean, and it's as simple as that.
As I said, we could be here for hours, and I would love to talk about this. We should get a 3-hour-long live stream to talk about Ballon d'Or until the ceremony tonight. But there are other things that we have to talk about today. At the weekend, on Saturday, Real Madrid played Barcelona at the Santiago Bernabeu. They lost 4-0, quite convincingly. Performance was, epic, amazing from Barcelona. They did the job. Lewandowski with 2, Lamine Yamal and Rafinha wrapping up the business. Klinton and I were there, and we've, got something to show you guys about our experience. Let's take a look at how it went on Saturday night.
This weekend, you both are at the Santiago Bernabeu.
It's ElClásico this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here outside Real Madrid Sports City.
One of the biggest game or the biggest game in football.
That was really my first thoughts of ElClásico.
ElClásico!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the boy Klinton called as usual, and right here with me is the second partner in crime, the tallest man in Madrid, Alex. Come take cameras for him, man. Show this tall man, making me look like a child. I don't know why I keep coming out with this man, But anyways, today is the day the Lord has made. It's the ElClásico. Real Madrid taking on Barcelona. We are live here at the Bernabeu Stadium. Alex, talk to the fans. I mean, what are we expecting today, man?
I mean, it's going to be an exciting game. Real Madrid need the win. If Barcelona win, they go 6 points clear. All to play for, bragging rights. It's at the Bernabeu. No Rodrigo, no Courtois. Barcelona are doing well. What's going to happen?
Well, the truth is we are going to find out what will be happening. We're going to carry you through every single, all the biggest things that will be happening tonight. We are going to be showing you live on this one. So follow us. Stay tuned. Everywhere. Te. How do you feel about this game?
Who's playing? I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'm supporting Real Madrid.
You have Vinicius Junior, you have Lamine Yamal. Who do you pick?
Vinicius Junior for sure. If Barcelona win today, they go 6 points ahead of Real Madrid. Is that over? The title finished?
Not all is over, but for Real Madrid it's going to be difficult if we want to win the trophy. But
all right, what's your scoreline prediction for this game?
Well, I think Madrid's gonna win. Let's say like 3-2.
maybe 2-0.
2-1 for Real Madrid.
I think 3-1. 2-1 for Barca.
2-1 for Barcelona.
No, for Madrid.
It's going to be, let's say, 7-0. Can we say that?
2-0.
7-0. Yeah.
No, wait, did you guys? You said 7-0.
Right, 5 minutes into the game, 0-0. Mbappe had a clear chance. Klinton.
Mbappe is pissing me off already, honestly. Like, Mbappe, you're pissing me off.
Good. Klinton, Real Madrid almost scored.
I mean,
Offside.
Mbappe didn't score, but the goal was cancelled.
So, Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid 0, Barcelona 0. Klinton, sum up that first half.
Well, I mean, the first half has been very entertaining, to be honest. Can they do it with Barcelona? That is the key question. We would find out. Oh!
Oh!
Another goal! They just scored! Whoa!
Oh, shit.
Lewandowski, look at Lewandowski. Ah! Well,
Guys, honestly,
3-0.
it's over at this point. There's nothing Real Madrid will do to come back on this one. Game don't finish. Madrid collect 4.
We are very happy that we can score so many goals. It doesn't matter against who we are playing. We always have in our mind that keep going, keep pushing, and try to do our best. What we want to do and what we try to do. So this is the best solution.
Fatal.
I'm so sad.
You're so sad.
Yeah, I'm so ashamed.
I'm very, very sad. I came here around 3,000 miles away from Ethiopia, but I'm really, really sad about it.
My man came all the way from Ethiopia to witness this ElClásico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, and he's sounding pretty much unhappy. Give me that one player that disappointed you today.
Mbappe.
Mbappe.
The worst of them, Mbappe today. Today Mbappe lose it. Mbappe, of course.
Here, talk to me about this win. How do you feel?
Wow, I feel amazing. It's a dream to come to Bernabeu and win such a big game. It was amazing.
And oh well, ladies and gentlemen, here comes to the end of the journey, the ElClásico, life at the Bernabeu. Obviously, it's been a very disappointing evening for Real Madrid fans as well as the Real Madrid Football Club. A lot of people have spoken. You know, they've said their hearts. They've said they've been disappointed with a couple of players, especially Kylian Mbappe, who has missed a lot of chances. Now, the truth is, many of them are hoping that, you know, at some point they will go to Camp Nou in Barcelona for the next ElClásico, and they are going to probably get a win from there. But for now, this is what it is. Hope you've enjoyed this journey, this ElClásico 2024. And remember, keep following us on all our socials, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, where we'll be feeding you live with everything that has transpired live here at the Bernabeu. For now, enjoy, and as usual, it's your boy Klinton Code, and have an amazing weekend. Ebwe, po!
Well, we hope you did have a good weekend. It's a nice little message there. Well, where do we start?
I don't think Real Madrid fans had a good weekend, though.
No, I really don't. So, to wrap things, to sort of sum up things in 30 seconds, and then we'll get into it. Real Madrid 0, Barcelona 4, Lewandowski with 2, Lamine Yamal with 1, and Rafinha to add the cherry on top of the cake. It was, I think, fair to say, Klinton, a game of two halves. Real Madrid had quite a few opportunities in that first half.
Yeah.
Mbappe getting caught offside 8 times.
Very poor.
Had the ball in the back of the net twice, obviously offside both times, but many other opportunities, not just him. Vinicius, I think Bellingham had a few chances as well. What went wrong?
I think what went wrong was, oh, man. God, please put this in my head, man. I don't want to say it out, but just remind me to say what I'm thinking about saying, but let me tell them what...
That I can't do. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Just say, Klinton, say what you were going to say on TV, just outside. But no, it was a very poor stuff that went on with Real Madrid. I mean, you know, I felt very bad for the fans. A lot of them did travel. The guy that said he came all the way 3,000 miles away from Ethiopia, he did. You know, after the whole camera stuff, he did say to me, he said, "Yo, listen, I saved up. You know, and I knew I was coming to watch this game. That's the first time he's come to Europe, and it was literally to come see Real Madrid win a game. And you could imagine his reaction to come, not just a loss, it was a brutal, fatal loss. This was probably the worst loss we've seen in the Bernabeu this season. And I felt really bad for him. Now, what went wrong? I think nothing went wrong, please. And this is something I want to explain to people. People think that Real Madrid had a very poor performance against Barcelona. No, they didn't. Real Madrid, they have been having poor performances the whole of the season. And the only thing that we needed was a team that would expose all the bad games they've been having the whole season. And I'm just so happy because a few teams have tried. I mean, I thought Atletico Madrid were going to be the one to expose them. I thought Bayern Munich were going to be the one to expose them. But these teams were probably as bad as Real Madrid currently because they've not really been doing it to the level where people would expect them to do it so far. And we just needed Barcelona, who have had one of the best starts of this season so far, facing Real Madrid to expose them. And that is exactly what happened. So for me, nothing went wrong. It was just Real Madrid being Real Madrid, right? This season, mind you, I'm not talking about the previous season or the last season. They just needed one good, solid team to face them to open up all the leakages that they've had in their team. Now, yes, first half they did have an amazing game. You know, they just couldn't take their chances. We were watching the game together. You did make a statement. You said, wow, what's going on with Barcelona? They are playing such a high line. Now, we thought that was a problem initially, remember? Not knowing that that was actually a tactical mode of playing this Real Madrid. Why? Because you don't have the like of Kylian Mbappe. You have, what's his name? Vinicius. These are two fast players. The moment they get the ball, what they want to do, they just want to run. Even before the ball comes, the ball is still in air. They are trying to run. Now, what did Hansi Flick say? Yo, listen, don't worry. We know what they're going to try to do. They think they've got the fastest player. They've got Mbappe, who should be doing a 100-meter sprint in the Olympics. Fine, don't worry. I know how to handle it. Just make sure you guys are playing that high line. Because the truth is, they are going to fall into this trap. And for a player of Mbappe's caliber, to have about, was it 8 offsides in the whole of, in that first half, or the whole, I can't remember if it's the whole of the game.
8 in the first half.
8 in the first. Wait, do you know how crazy that is though, Alex or Gary? Do you know what it means for a player of Kylian Mbappe's caliber to have 8 good offsides in just one half? That's to tell you that Hansi Flick. And this is where I come in to tell Gary that, bro, listen, you really understand football. You know, and I'm very impressed because remember, he did say that, yo, this is where, because when we did the whole matching, you know, of these two teams, we said, yo, okay, you know, they look pretty much very solid, very equal to each other. But this is, oh, sorry, it wasn't on this game. I think this was what, you know, he was speaking about.
Champions League.
It was regarding
Champions League.
Bayern Munich. Yeah. But then again, I will still put it down again to the fact that Hansi Flick was also bringing in that A-game level of being a coach because he studied the team. He knows he knew how to capture Real Madrid, and he did exactly that. And when they came in the second half, this was the point where he said, now let's kill it. They did a hard job. And let me tell you something about Real Madrid, right? Real Madrid, they are not the kind of team that would face a good team and they would give you a whole 90 minutes of pure performance. That's something I've noticed this season so far. I mean, I'm not saying they're playing anything good, but...
To be fair, to go off that point, had Mbappe had the better rub of the green, had Vinicius and Bellingham taken their chances, it could have been 3 or 4-0 to Real Madrid at half-time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And when you look at how this is how football goes, I'll come to you with this one, Gary, it is a case of, you know, sometimes you get that luck, sometimes you don't, sometimes it is the case of you play well in the first half, the other team comes out in the second half and does the job over you. Did you think at half-time that it was going to end like it did?
You know, this is what we call a sliding doors moment, especially that offside goal that was chalked off from Mbappe. Now imagine if that goal had gone in. How would Barcelona have reacted? Would Hansi Flick have kept to the game plan? Would he have tweaked anything that was crucial? And if that had gone in, how would the movement of Mbappe that, as it were, was onside and had gotten them the goal, affected the 7 other offsides that he was caught for in the first half? You know, so several points Klinton makes are right. Hansi Flick, this is his victory for me, more than anybody else's in the Barca team. Just like I said, it was, you know, before the Champions League, that it wasn't, if it was up to each of the players for Bayern Munich versus Barcelona, I think that they would have beaten Barcelona. They would have beaten Barcelona. But Hansi Flick is tactically superior. We know this from way back, that Vincent Kompany. And I'm thinking that his preparation for this game showed as well. Also, the second thing that I agree with Klinton is that Barca have been the much better team this season. I've lost count of the number of times we have said on this show in the past 8 weeks or 12 weeks, since August 14th or 16th, the season started in Spain, that Real Madrid are winning in spite of and despite their poor performances. And so, yes, like Klinton said, they just needed that one team. That one would not forgive their errors. Two, will not allow their players to have moments of clarity in an otherwise poor game. And three, crucially, the lack that they've ridden for the past 3 years that nobody has been able to exploit like Barcelona did. So everything came together for Barcelona. And I wouldn't say that Real Madrid were that bad. I would say that Barcelona were that good and they were full value. So that's what I think Carlo Ancelotti should be telling the guys. Play the tape of the game again, right? And say that, look at these key moments. If we are taking these key moments, we'll be smiling and we'll be doing Hala Madrid and all that. But they took their moments like we have taken many times this season and they have won. We should look to being better. We should look to minimizing our errors. We should look to making those errors smaller, because now that Barca has exploited our weaknesses, trust that as we go into the business end of the Champions League and in the middle of La Liga, teams are simply going to copy that template. That's what European football is like. And they're going to punish us and punish us real good. For Kylian Mbappe, I think they need to speak to him specially because, it's one of those days. I mean, 8 offsides, he could have gotten 3, he could have gotten 4.
He could have. Yeah, he could have had 4 or 5. And, like you said, it's one of those games. Take the chances. You're 2 or 3-0 up at half time. We are really quickly running out of time, and there is something else I really want to get your opinion on, Klinton.
I know, of course.
Being a Manchester United fan. So sorry we can delve into ElClásico more.
This is all
but
Klinton.
Today...
this is all Klinton.
No, they don't say
this
that.
Is all Klinton. This is all Klinton. Because today, Ten Hag has been sacked. Manchester United have sacked the Dutchman after just over 2 seasons in charge. He was in his 3rd season. Ruud van Nistelrooy, his assistant, is taking over as interim manager for the time being. Some of the replacements that have been eyed up, obviously Ruud van Nistelrooy could stay on. Gareth Southgate's been looked at the job. Eddie Howe, Xavi. There are some managers out there. Zidane's even been rumoured as coming over to the Premier League. Klinton, are you happy that he's gone?
I mean, for me, I think this is a mixed feeling, I do understand that the whole of the Manchester United fans have been happy and, they feel like, okay, the loss against West Ham was some kind of signpost to say this is it, and I guess they got what they want. Now, personally, I'm the guy who always think about family. I think about your bills. I think about, how you're going to feed, I mean, he has a wife. He has a very beautiful daughter as well, and I feel like you don't want to get, He had to go because this is Manchester United, right? And how long was he going to be able to buy his way into this whole fraud that we've seen with Manchester United so far? Where he wins one game and everybody's like, okay, and then he draws the second one and then he loses the third one and then they'll be like, you know what, it's a win, it's a draw, and let's give you one more opportunity. I think this is what Ten Hag has been dying on, and he just had to get to this point where he had to go. I mean, he's done his bit. I feel like, there are some managers that are not meant to be there. You understand? Like, you will literally see the trail. You could clearly see that at this point, he's run out of ideas. And when you see his body language, especially after he loses game, when you hear him talk, you just know that he's not ready for the job. Like, I don't think Manchester United is that kind of club where you need a Ten Hag. And now that he's gone, I understand. I mean, I know that, all the fans are happy, and personally, am I happy that he's gone? I am happy that he's gone because we will be having something new. You were asking me, do you think, I mean, just as before the show, you said, do you think that Van Nistelrooy was going to be a very good replacement? I mean, as an interim manager, I said to you, I mean, at least me giving my answer, I feel like anything that's not Ten Hag is good. At this point, we just need that freshness. We just need something entirely different because truth is, anybody who comes into Manchester United right now will probably have some kind of different plan. That's not what we have with Ten Hag because clearly Ten Hag is not working. So you need somebody who's coming with some kind of fresh ideas, who's coming to change the game. Now, if it will work, it might not still work. I mean, how many managers have gone through Manchester United in the last couple of years? Like, these are the things that happen. But the truth is and this is the one question I think people are not really answering. Do you think that Ten Hag is that manager that if you give him the kind of time that the likes of Arteta has been given? Because if people were going to follow Arteta the way they followed Arteta could have gone, far. I mean, and I'm sure
it's true.
I'm sure Gary would confirm to that one, right?
I mean, it's that similar, the pressure of Premier League management these days. You don't get the results. You know, AD Samuel's saying here that Ten Hag won 2 trophies. He did. But when you're in your 3rd season at a club, I think he was obviously saying, judge us at the end of the season.
Yeah.
You're in your 3rd season at the club. People don't want to be judging you at the end of the 3rd season. By the 3rd season, you should already have stuff in motion.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't, to be fair, you shouldn't be losing to West Ham by a penalty that you say is not a penalty. You should be comfortably beating West Ham, that you don't have to worry about that VAR penalty. Now, Gary, in 30 seconds, more or less, we've heard some of the rumours about who's going to come in. Gareth Southgate, Xavi, could Ruud van Nistelrooy stay on as interim manager? In a brief couple of hundred words, who are you, as Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who are you replacing Ten Hag with?
Xavi has ruled himself out, one. I'm not sure who they are going to, because Zidane would not touch Manchester United. Absolutely not. Too poisoned. I'm not sure who is available. Maybe Amorim at Sporting.
Okay. Now, I mean, there are so many options. We could delve into this for weeks on end, really. Unfortunately, we don't really have enough time for it. Klinton, in 30 seconds or less, 15 seconds or less, who are you appointing as a manager? Are you sticking with Van Nistelrooy till the end of the season?
I'm trying to enjoy my 15 seconds.
Well, I cut you off there. That's all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned after this. We've got La Liga Hypermotion. We've got Racing de Ferrol against Tenerife. Thank you for joining us, Gary. Thank you for joining us, Klinton. And as always, we hope you've had a good weekend. We hope you had a good start to your week. And, well, enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Ebwe. T. Boom.